You're broken down and tired of living life on the merry-go-round, and you can't find a fighter, but I see it in you, so we gon' walk it out. Move mountains, we gon' walk it out and move.
So thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. And we're just so sorry that we can't do this in person. But as soon as we're able to, we're hopeful that we'll get everyone together for what we're not going to announce who it is yet. It's a big surprise. But we'll get you together so that our 2020 winner can have the presentation that he or she deserves. But we'll just go on a little bit more and just spread a little bit of awareness about what we're doing here at Mintridge as well. So we're all gathered here for the Anna Horrell Award, which is very special to us, and we will explain a little bit more about that in a moment. But for now, I'll just hand over to my colleague who is sat to the left of me, but not on the screen, and she's just going to share a bit more about Mintridge. So for those that aren't aware what we do at the charity, it will hopefully give you more of an overview.
Thanks so much for joining us this evening. Hopefully you can hear me okay. We are just delighted that everyone could be with us, and I think that's probably the beauty of an electronic virtual world at the moment. But for those of you that don't know, we are the Mintridge Foundation, and we are a foundation that has Olympians, Paralympians and elite athletes that work with us to inspire the next generation, and sort of we harness those powerful sporting role models to really make a difference, especially with young people across the country. And we do that by going into schools and delivering physical activity programs that revolve around assemblies, Q&A sessions, and it can be coaching sessions and presentations for awards evenings and things with those amazing ambassadors that we have with us. And we have 40 ambassadors that work with us now, which is an incredible amount of inspiration in one place. But from those programs, they develop onto mentoring programs that are delivered over a 6-month period. And I'm sure we'll hear a little bit more about one of those programs today. But in those mentoring programs, the ambassadors share their story and their experience, and they use that to help guide and support young people in any way that they need it. So it could be that it is sporting excellence, and it can be to develop sport-specific skills, but it also could be to develop confidence or work on time management skills and organisation. So from there as well, we kind of go full circle, and we encourage and we try our best in a non-COVID world to take our mentees that are part of that programme to sporting fixtures with their ambassadors, and also to see them compete if they're still competing at the top level, just to see really what it takes to compete at the top and what it's like competing in that kind of atmosphere. So throughout those programs, we've done such a range of programs with all sorts of different sports, and we're going to hear from quite a few of our amazing mentees, which is 122 to date. And as I said, we've got in some of those stories some success stories ranging from GB pathways and selection from those mentees being mentored by a Mintridge ambassador, and also all the way across to working with young adults that may have got a disability that needed some help and confidence, and have actually it's changed their life by being mentored by a Mintridge. So I'm sure you're going to see quite a lot and hear a lot today about our programs, but if anybody wants to find out anything else or any more about us, then please go to the website or our social media. And actually you've got an amazing audience in here tonight that you can probably fire some questions at and hear from later. So thanks so much, everybody. And I think we're going to pass over now, hopefully maybe see a video, but
yes, we do have
we do have a video, which we've been having technical difficulties because it's 2020, so you have to have those. So we're going to try and show that at the end as well, where we can get sound and everything working there. But we'll now move on to the main reason that we're here tonight. And I've said to Katie, I'm not going to cry, but I cry every year we've presented this award. And it's really important. it's really important to me to honour my old tennis coach in this way, and we're so grateful that all of her family are here tonight. And because I'm like this, I think it's probably best that I hand over to Liz in a second, who's going to announce this year's winner. But we're so honoured that this year's winner has met this amazing criteria to have an infectious enthusiasm for sport, a proactive nature for everything they do, and we just see great potential in their sporting journey, whatever that might be. We're also so grateful that we have 3 of our previous winners here, who we will hear from shortly with our friends at Sportspiel. But I think it's best, as you can hear my voice croaking, that I will hand over to the one and only Liz Can, who is Commonwealth Games bronze medalist in badminton, and she will announce this year's winner. So thank you so much to Liz, who has flown in to Jersey today, and we were worried about how long her COVID screenings were going to take, so we had videos on standby for this, but she's here and she's with us. So Liz, thank you so much for joining us and being part, and I'll hand over to you, Liz. Thank you.
Thanks, Alex. Well, I am really, really honoured to announce that the winner of the Anna Horrell Award is Shri Oroganti. So, yay, good clap for Shri. I had the pleasure of working with Shri for several months, and you know, obviously we were thrown into difficult times right at the offset of this mentoring program, but Shri really showed her proactive nature and got stuck into it right from the get-go, worked really well in this program. So there were no excuses, there were hurdles and challenges along the way, but Shri showed her high-level mindset really, and applied herself in the best way that she could every step of the way. You know, you had some injuries along the way, and we worked together to figure out ways around those so you could keep training. And that's really the characteristics of what an elite athlete would do. An elite athlete would still train hard, whether they're in full fitness or whether there's injuries. You know, you're always finding a way around it. And it's that mentality that I believe helps people to accomplish their goals, but not only their goals, but beyond actually what they think is possible. It's that mindset of never giving up, and I'm going to find a way around any hurdles and challenges that I come across. So I'm really proud of you, Shri, for applying yourself in the way that you did. I think your parents should be proud of you, your school should be proud of you, and I think you've got a bright future with lots of opportunities ahead of you. So congratulations to you, Shri.
Can we all take ourselves off mute and see if we can do a 2020 round of applause for Shri? Perfect. Do you want to hand over? See if Shri wants to speak.
Yeah, I was just going to hand over to Shri. I don't know if she wanted to say anything, but I'll just say a couple of things, Shri, to give you a moment. From our side of things, obviously, the mentoring program is so special because it allows our mentors and mentees to develop a relationship that they potentially wouldn't get from a teacher, or they wouldn't have that time to spend with somebody. And this was such a successful program because, as Liz said, Shri was exceptionally proactive, and she knew exactly what she wanted and how she was going to do it. And it was so lovely for us to be involved in this process because we could see the development of this relationship, this two-way relationship. Shri was sending videos to Liz for her to watch, to be able to analyze, and then Liz was sending things back to Shri to be able to help develop her learning and things to help her better off on the badminton court, but also off the badminton court. And I think there's a lot of things that I don't want to say too much, but Shri is exceptional academically, but also, you know, in lots of other sports as well as badminton. So I think, Shri, you should probably tell people how great you are, because we're going to do that for you always. But as Liz said, very proactive, a fantastic role model for other people, and really pleased that she could be part of it. And Liz did an exceptional job as well, mentoring her, and it's been so great that both sides were just so in on the program, and it makes it so special. And I think it is a credit to Anna and the award that Shri gets to take this as well today, because that is exactly what it's here for, to just recognise those really special people in your lives that help you, but also what makes you a special person as well. So Shri, I'll pass over to you. I don't know if you want to say a few words, and then I think we might hear a little bit from Anna's family as well.
So I just kind of wanted to say how I actually came to find out about Mintridge, because I actually found out about them in this conference that I didn't even plan on going to. It was actually this really last minute decision that I kind of just decided to do it the day before, and yeah, I just went to this conference, didn't really expect much from it, to be honest, and then by chance I happened to sign up to this speech that Alex was doing, and she was talking about Mintridge and what they did, and I was thinking about badminton, because I'm always thinking about badminton, and I was seeing that it was such an amazing opportunity, and I don't know, I kind of got the courage to go speak to Alex at the end of it, get the email, and then it took me a couple of months to then get the courage to email her about it and organize everything. And I just think about if I didn't go to that conference, things would have been so different, and Mintridge has helped me become such a different person on court as well as off court, because it's made me stronger. It's made me physically stronger and mentally stronger. I feel like my attitude to a bad day on court, or even a stressful day at school, and then having to try and balance everything, it's just made my attitude change, and it's made everything so much easier, and it's made me fall in love with the sport even more, because I don't know, it's just really nice, and I'm so thankful to Mintridge for doing that, and for Liz for supporting me and everything, and for school for believing in me. So yeah, thank you so much.
Oh, Shri, that's so kind, and thank you so much. And I understand that you had the presentation of the shield today at school, so I don't know if you've got the shield with you now. Yes. Now that it's arrived. I've been very nervous about the post, but it'd be great if you could bring that onto the screen in a bit so everyone can. Oh, it's right there. Of course it is. It's right next to you. Yay! Congratulations. We were trying to think of exciting ways to pretend to pass it to you, but I think our technology this side hasn't been great, so we'll just stick with that. So enjoy the shield, and there's some great names on there already who we'll be hearing from shortly. So thanks, Shri. And I know that the wonderful Horrell family would like to share a few words as well about the award. And I think Mike's going to speak, if I'm right.
Okay. Shri, it gives me great pleasure on behalf of Anna to present this award to you. She would have loved the fact that you are a racket player, joining in badminton, excelling at softball, and being selected for the Great Britain under-18 softball squad. And you are now trying your hand at tennis. It is such a pity that we could not actually meet you due to the COVID virus, but you are such a dedicated and enthusiastic person that I would love it if you could keep Alex and Mintridge informed of your progress, so that we can keep up to date, and I could possibly watch you play in one of your matches. I'm sitting here with Anna's mother, who is 97, but in her youth was the games mistress at Westwood House School in Peterborough, and an accomplished tennis player. We both wish you all the best in the future, and very, very well done.
Very good.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mike. I think we should have another round of applause as well. So thank you, and I'll stop crying now. Oh, amazing. Oh, thank you so much, Mike. And yes, we promise to keep you in touch with everything that Shri's doing. And Shri, that means you have to promise to keep in touch with us as well. So what I'd like to do now is invite our wonderful friends at Sportspiel, an amazing podcast, to interview both Shri and Liz before we move on to have a panel with our previous winners, and hopefully Will can delve a little deeper into the mentoring relationship and what they've been doing so far. So Will, if you're there, it'd be great to hear from you. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone, and first of all, massive congratulations, Shri, on the award. From everything I've heard and everything I've seen and everything Alex and Katie have said to me, massively deserved. So first of all, I guess my first question for you is, how did you feel, I guess, when you first heard that you were the recipient of this year's Anna Horrell Award?
I won't lie, I was a bit surprised. I really didn't expect it at all, but it was really, really nice. Like, I don't know, everything that the award like stands for and everything. It was really nice to be able to like receive this, and I don't know, it kind of motivates me even more, I guess. So yeah.
You mentioned changes in attitudes that you've had, and how you're even more in love with badminton and sport in general. I guess it's quite a difficult question, but what are the biggest things that you've noticed about yourself that's maybe changed, or if you look back at yourself a year ago and you look at where you are now, what are the biggest learnings that you've taken from this?
So during like the mentoring and everything, me and Liz discussed like attitudes to like bad days and stuff, and how I would kind of take on whatever's happening, kind of just push it aside, push it to the bottom, and get back onto it, and like focus my mind. And I think especially with like the lockdown and isolating and everything, and not really knowing when I'll be back on court, it was really important for me to learn that, and to like teach myself to make sure that I can almost be a bit more kinder to myself and remain focused. And I think that's really helped my game, in terms of when I got back on court, I felt like I was almost like a different player, and I hadn't been on court in like months, and it was just really nice to see how much of an impact it made in that sense. And I just felt ready to like carry on going and keep on improving. And so yeah.
And a question for both yourself and for Liz as well, but do you remember sort of your first session or a couple of sessions together, and do you sort of remember how it felt when you found out you were being partners with each other?
Want to go first, Shree?
I remember being really nervous before, because I don't know, I was really excited, and I wanted to make sure that it would all go well, I guess, but I didn't really know what well was. So yeah, I guess I was a bit nervous, but I was so excited. And we talked about I don't know, we just kind of got to know each other a little bit in the first session, and then from there we kind of created this plan of what it was I did want to achieve. And I remember making this like little pie chart diagram of where I was now, so that towards the end of the mentoring I could like reflect back on it, and I think that was quite helpful.
Yeah, I think our first session, like Shree says, was, you know, I always like to get to know somebody first, to understand what it is that they'd like to gain from the mentoring process, you know, what their goals are, where they are now. And so I can really get a full picture and try to understand Shree as a person as best as I could in that session. And then, like Shree said, like we did the pie chart, and that was really getting really clear on Shree's goals. And like Shree was so busy when we first started that mentoring. You know, you were in the thick of revising for exams that you didn't realize weren't going to take place at that point in time, but you had a lot of work to do. You had your badminton stuff you were trying to do at the same time, so it was also getting clear on what was realistic to focus on, and so that we could make the real most out of it, not trying to do too much, but trying to have as big an impact as we could as well through that process. So that's really what I would say our first couple of sessions were like.
And of course, even before that, those first couple of sessions, Shree had already done something quite remarkable and quite different, in that she'd approached Minteridge, which is, it's normally the Minteridge goes into the schools, but Shree had approached Minteridge and then showed this proactiveness and attention to detail and the really hard-working ethic throughout. Is that something that you found really impressive, Liz?
Absolutely. I mean, Shree made my job easy, really, because Shree was so focused. And for somebody to be proactive in getting this organised, I know her head's going to be in it. I know she's going to be focused. And you know, in time I discovered that's her nature in everything that she does. So I was really, really impressed with that, for sure.
And Shree, for you, it's been mentioned a lot about you doing these videos and sending them over to Liz. Is that something that comes naturally to you, to be that proactive and to work that hard and to put that much effort in, or is it because you were more likely to do it because you were enjoying the program and working with her so much?
I think it was definitely a combination of both. I think if the program wasn't so good, and if I didn't find it so helpful to be talking to Liz and to be discussing all these things, then it would have definitely been less enjoyable, I guess, to take all these videos. But when I was doing them, I was like excited for the next one. I was excited to hear back and everything. But yeah, I guess I always want to make sure that I do everything like 110%, because I don't know, I guess it is kind of a little bit in my nature, which is, yeah.
I mean, doing everything 100%, 10% means you've also had, I believe, quite a lot of success in the world of softball as well, which not necessarily the sport you initially signed up to Mintridge with, but I guess how did that come about? I believe you were selected for the under-18 Great Britain squad.
Yeah, it was actually through school. School organised this softball coach to come in, which was really cool. Like, I didn't really know much about the sport, and over the summer I was just like kind of going and playing and training with a couple of my friends and stuff, and we heard about the trials. And I think one thing that Mintridge taught me was to just have the courage to like take every opportunity. So I decided that I'd trial and try out, and yeah, it went really good, like a lot better than I expected it to go. And yeah, it's been cool. It's been a really good experience.
And you find that the lessons that you learned and took from working with Liz in maybe a badminton regard are actually also work in other sports such as softball as well?
Yeah, 100%. Because even though we talked about things specific to badminton and like certain shots or like technique or training sessions, we also talked a lot about how it was to mentally play a game, and how I should mentally like prepare myself when I'm about to go on court, or how I should like look after myself after, like off court. And that's really transferable, not just to other sports, but I think to like almost everything in life, and exam stress and everything. So yeah.
I was going to say that was going to be my next question, in that, I mean, the word unprecedented is, I think, some people claiming it to be word of the year because of what has happened this year. But do you feel like what you've learned with Liz has not only therefore helped you in sport, but actually helped you deal with what has been a pretty tough year for you personally, in terms of, I know you had a lot of exams and schoolwork and stuff, and then COVID, and it's just been tough for everyone as well?
Yeah, definitely. I think it gave me a lot of structure in terms of working towards my goals in a time that literally had no structure, and it was all really like unknown what was going to happen. So I think it definitely helped me like remain focused and remain motivated, and almost like reassure myself that I did know what I was doing and that I could still be doing things.
And question for you both, have you also found that the relationship you've built and the work that you've been doing together has actually sort of helped you both through this year? It's given you something to look forward to, even though you've not been able to meet in person. You've actually still had these regular sessions to look forward to, and it's something that's got you through the more difficult days.
I think so. I think you know, I guess we were both thrown into the unknown at the same time, and you know, we've all got to find a way to navigate those times. And I think seeing Shri still maintain such a high level attitude towards, you know, her day to day, in trying to still accomplish and work towards those goals and dreams that she's had for so long, that definitely motivated me to see that and to be able to consistently join those sessions with Shri and see her through that.
Yeah, I agree. It definitely, like thinking about what I talked about with Liz over like the next week or fortnight between our calls, it pushed me to actually carry on doing things and carry on training, even when it was like a day I didn't really feel like doing it, because I'd be thinking about what she said and being like, okay, how can I apply this? How can I make sure that I at least take a little bit of this on board today? So yeah.
Cool. So I believe we are also joined by previous winners Clemmy Cooper, Bailey Layram-Smith and Ali Layard. And I believe Heather Fell, Clemmy's mentor, is on the call as well. So I've got a few questions to bring this more together into a panel and to throw it out to all of you. So first of all, thank you everyone for joining us this evening. And I guess for the previous winners, I'm not going to, actually I'll say, let's go with Clemmy first, because she was the first winner in 2017 and we'll work from there. But how much is the program and the mentoring from Mintridge continuing to help you in life now? Again, not just in sport, but in everything that you're doing, studying and other things outside of that.
I think Mintridge definitely gave me like really important confidence. I think maybe like a tricky patch where people find in their lives like sort of 17, 18 years old when things are changing, and exam stress and things. So no, definitely confidence that I can like structure my own training and know what I need to do. I can set my goals, and these goals like are achievable once you start believing in yourself. So I think it was, yeah, confidence with believing in myself, and just confidence in actually doing the sport and continuing and doing what I'm passionate about.
So do you still use some of the things that you learned then quite a lot in life?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I think Heather helped a lot with my swimming training, and I always look back at my old notes at what she used to say, like before races, sometimes before like tricky training days. So yeah, I definitely it has really helped me.
And then bringing in Bailey into the conversation as well. Evening, Bailey. I believe you did a lot of work working with Stevie Eskenazi on your cricket, but you have sort of ventured more into a netball sphere now. Is that correct?
Yes, that is, yeah.
So is yours quite similar with Shri, in that you can work with a mentor on a specific sport, but then actually you found that it's had a lot of benefits and you can take it into other sports and other walks of life as well, the things that you learn with these mentors?
Yes, definitely. So it was actually Stevie who and Alex who gave me the confidence to stop the cricket because I wasn't enjoying it. I'd been doing it for so long, and who actually told me that it is okay to change the path that you want to do. It is okay to stop doing it, even if there's so many people who think you shouldn't, because you've always got to do what's best for you. And it was definitely the best decision because I love netball and it's pretty much taken over. So it was definitely the best decision.
And again, like Clem, are you finding that you're still using what you learned from the time working with Stevie, just in a slightly different scenario now? What and if you can give any examples at all of the skills that you use?
Yeah, so trying not to care too much about what others think of you, knowing that self-doubt is normal. When I first joined netball, it was a women's team. I wasn't too sure that I'd be any good, but then I got picked for the team, and it was definitely thinking that it's just in my head. It's just me thinking that. So trying to overcome the self-doubt I've definitely carried that on.
Would you ever consider going back to the cricket on more of a just like a recreational basis, or is it netball all the way for you now?
It's netball all the way for me now, I'm afraid. It's just the pace of netball. I play centre, so I'm constantly doing something. It's more me, it's more energetic. I love it.
And is that a message that you would be quite keen to share with other people then, is that it's actually okay to fall out of love with sport and actually just try something new and just to give it a go?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I was playing cricket since I was 5, up to 14. And I think there was a lot of pressure from family because I got so far to carry on with it. They were like, oh, you've got so far, you shouldn't stop it. It's been your life for so long, but you've got to do what's right for you. And if you enjoy it, then that's all that matters.
That's a fantastic life lesson then, something definitely to take on. And gonna move the topic on of conversation on to Ali now, last year's winner. So
Hello.
Ali, I guess it's a year since you were in this position receiving this award.
Yeah, it doesn't feel that long at all.
No, it doesn't at all. When you look back now, sort of how much of an impact do you think it's had on you, and how rewarding did you find it this time last year to be in Shree's position?
Oh, the whole mentoring process and being involved with Mintridge changed my whole look on life, really. I feel much more sort of comfortable in myself, and it's sort of lessons I can apply to everything. or taking having two notes, but yes.
Unfortunately,
Hello?
a little bit of Wi-Fi.
Yeah, that's mine. Sorry, can you hear me?
Can hear you now. Yeah.
Okay, good. Sorry about that. But yeah, no, the whole process with Mintridge and Ben Smith, who isn't here, but he's changed my whole outlook on life, and I've been able to apply his methods to anything
Just as you were getting going there, we lost you again. But I think we got the main message that you're able to apply the methods.
Oh no!
Things that he taught.
I'm really sorry.
That's all right. We'll give it one more go
Yeah.
with another question. But I guess I know a lot of you guys, you don't do it to necessarily win awards like this. You do it because you want to get better and you want to improve yourselves. But how nice is it to, when you get an award like this, the recognition of all your hard work, and to be able to have a few words from the family as well of the award givers.
Oh, it's a huge honor, but the main credit goes to my mentee, my mentor. I mean, he's just inspired me hugely, and it's a massive honor. And thank you very much to the Horrells who've made me in a way.
Thank you very much, Ali. And apologies that we couldn't quite get your internet working properly.
I'm really sorry. No, it's
speaking of
that's what I get for living in the middle of nowhere.
Speaking of the impact of the mentors, now I want to bring the conversation around to Heather and Liz. And I guess for you guys, how rewarding is it to be working with these young individuals and to see how much progress they make and see the benefits of what you've been teaching them?
I find it really. Sorry, do you want to go, Heather? No, I was going to say I find it really rewarding, and I almost feel a little bit sad when it comes to the end, because you do get to know that person over quite a stretched out period of time. And then I'm always interested to know and think every now and then, I wonder how they're getting on with everything. And, because like you say, the pathway can change. You never know what's going on. But yeah, it's really, really rewarding.
Yeah, I was just second that as well. But also, I think you feel very invested. So, I'm kind of keeping an eye on where, what Clemie's up to and things. And it's just really nice to stay involved in the sport, especially when you've retired and feeling that you can still give back and help with that. For me, the biggest challenge was not coaching, was actually mentoring. And so when Clemie was coming, especially with swimming things, and swimming is my strength, and I just wanted to give her sessions and tell her what to do. But I felt it was very much trying to give the mentee the tools to go and work it out themselves. And that's that kind of balance between, we can give them all the answers, well, not all the answers, but a lot of the answers, but that isn't it. It's giving them the tools to find the answers themselves, so that once the 6 months, which is not long enough, has ended, they can then go away and do that. And that was a challenge for me, but hopefully that kind of sort of passed over. So I would, it's not long enough.
Is it as much of a learning process for you then as the mentors as it is for the mentees then?
Yeah, I would definitely say so. It's my first long-term mentoring, and it was really nice. I've done a lot of work in schools and coaching and teaching and things like that, but to actually have to be working with one person for a longer period of time was really nice, to actually build up a relationship and a rapport, and more satisfying. It's not just so much tick box of school visits are amazing, but you don't know how long that sort of legacy lasts, having done that work. So hopefully this will filter down to the sport in other ways. And also looking back, I didn't realize it was 2017 that I worked with Clemie. I mean, that's 3 years ago, which is crazy. And it's got me doing more mentoring stuff now, and I've actually just signed up to be doing a whole year's mentoring with TAP, who Alex and Katie know about, the True Athlete Project. I don't yet know who my mentee is, and I'm finding out in January, but it's definitely inspired me to kind of do more of that and also learn how to be a better mentor too.
Yeah, I would definitely second that. I've been doing mentoring for a few years now, but every single time, every session really, you know, because it's a fluid process, you know, where each person you work with is different things are going on in their life, and so I think you just constantly learn as a mentor and fine-tune that process, and it keeps you on your toes, you know, because you don't know what's going to come in each session each day. So yeah.
Great. And finally, bringing the conversation to round this panel off back to Shri. One final question for you, Shri. Having now won the award, we're coming to the end of 2020. How much are you looking forward to the next year or so, and what are you setting? Are you setting any particular goals, or sort of what are you looking to achieve over the next 12 months?
I'm definitely really excited. I think in terms of goals, it's been a bit difficult because with the lockdowns, like, and isolation keep coming on and off, it's really difficult to know when I'll actually be on court. But I'm going to just say the really broad generic goal of I'm just going to keep training and pushing myself to be even stronger than I am, and working on the things that like consistency and stuff, specific things on court, like in terms of my game that I've just always really wanted to work on. So yeah, I don't really know whether that's a good enough answer, but I'm afraid it's the only thing I can really say.
No, that's a good goal. Always trying to better yourself and become the best you can be. Can't do much more than that. So massive congratulations to you once again. Huge thanks to everyone for joining us for this panel. I hope you all enjoyed listening, and back over to Alex, I believe.
Thanks so much, Will, for delving so much deeper and so much better than we could to really get to know why the award and the mentoring was so important to everyone. So thank you everybody for joining us. And as I said at the start, we're just so sorry that we couldn't get you there in person. But Shri, we will make sure that we will give you a proper presentation when the wonderful world of coronavirus has passed, and you can meet so many more of our ambassadors. We're so grateful for Olympians and Commonwealth medalists like Heather and Liz to be part of this journey. And hopefully we have some future Olympians, Commonwealth medalists in U4 as well. So thank you very much. And I would like to try one thing, if everyone is happy to. If Shri, if you're able to hold up your shield, and then if we can all have a cheesy smile, if you're happy to be in the photo, but if you're not, you can just turn your screen to black. But I'm going to try it, and we'll all look lovely. And this will be how we remember our Anna Horrell Award for 2020. So. Ready, everybody? Cheesiest smiles. Ready? Thank you very much. We'll have a lovely weekend, everybody. We'll stay on for a couple of minutes if anyone wants to chat, but we'll also share this recording of the presentation. So if there's anyone else that would like to see it that wasn't able to join us today, then we can do that. But I'm also told that Ben Smith has joined as well, so he's rushed from coaching. He's been coaching at Oundle this afternoon, so thank you very much to Ben for joining, who mentored Ali. So I don't know, Ben, if you want to say hello to everybody.
I'll unmute. Hello everybody. Yeah, no, it's brilliant. I mean, I'm sorry I can only join you this late, but I had an amazing time with my three mentees, and obviously with Ali winning last year. It was brilliant, just deserved as well. A young man that really came on a lot through the year in his sport with international cricket, and for such a young guy to be able to achieve what he did at the level he did was outstanding. And I think it's just brilliant that the fact that the Horrell family do support the foundation, but also make it worthwhile for some of these young mentees to involve themselves in the foundation and know that there's not just an award at the end, but obviously there's a journey to be had for the time they spend with their mentors, and hopefully we set them up to carry on and crack on with life in their sports, not just only on the field but off the field in their futures as well.
Much everyone, and Merry Christmas, and we will see you in 2021.